I'm Cara Wilson, and here are today's headlines. Political storm. Winnow exclusive reveals online poll rigging scandal. Student risks life to save pensioner from blaze. And what's got them dancing in the city? Firstly tonight, Winnow has uncovered a plot by politicians to rig our online poll. We were asking readers who they would vote for in next year's election. However, we uncovered an email sent by the Liberal Democrats encouraging supporters to vote for the party after they were left trailing behind the Conservatives in the ratings. Stuart Appleby has this exclusive report.
This is the email that has ignited the war of words between three Winchester parliamentary candidates. Marked urgent by Liberal Democrat leader Martin Todd, the email was sent to the party's mailing list in regards to the Winchester poll.
I'm not sure the Conservative vote's gone down. I think other votes have gone up, very sort of suspiciously in the space of an hour. But hey, that's polls for you, and who knows how that happened.
It's very easy to fake them by persuading a limited number of people to vote. And I guess I know from grim experience that the Lib Dems are very good at all sorts of trickery in local elections, and if they know a poll is going on like this, they will simply get all their members to vote.
Oh, I think the truth is Patrick should worry about policies. The reason people are not voting for Labour in Winchester and nationally is nothing to do with what he might think is trickery or anything like that.
Conservative candidate Steve Bryan has recently referenced the poll on his Twitter website. It appears in the build-up to next year's general elections that the emergence of online campaigning has never been more important.
I'm joined now by Dr. William Sherwood, Head of Politics at the University of Winchester. So, Dr. Sherwood, politicians manipulating polls, how common is this in the lead-up to the election?
Well, I think it's important to recognise there's two types of polls which we can be aware of in elections. One is the official polls run by polling agencies, which are very reputable, have clear methodologies and aim to be above board, otherwise their polls wouldn't have any credibility at all. The online poll, which is evident here, is different in the sense that it's ongoing and you can encourage supporters to put their vote in on the poll and it'll change. What they're looking for, though, clearly is if they're behind, is to get their supporters to vote in and create some sort of buzz to indicate there's some momentum behind how well they're doing, and therefore to indicate that they are gaining and making some sort of splash and therefore likely to get their supporters out come election day.
So is this a sign that the University of Winchester campus could turn into a battleground for votes?
It's very likely to be. Winchester's a marginal seat. It's one which is held by Liberal Democrats reasonably comfortably at present, but it was a marginal seat a number of elections ago when the Liberal Democrats only won very marginally after a recount. It's likely, therefore, with the increasing number of students at the University of Winchester, that students are going to be sought after by the two major parties, Conservatives and Liberal Democrats. Labour's not part of the equation here. And so it's very likely you're going to see, especially with increasing numbers of students now at the University of Winchester, it is going to be a quite significant battleground.
Well, we've just seen how both of the lead candidates in Winchester are using new media such as Facebook and Twitter. How important is this going to be in the next election?
I think it'd be very significant. If you're trying to reach younger voters, the old system of doing it by getting people to turn up at rallies, going to election meetings could be rather seen as being rather dry and unexciting. It's much easier now to get hold of voters through Facebook and through other social networking sites because it's so instantaneous. So I think this is something which is more so than the last election, only in 2005, is going to be something which is much more dramatically going to be used, particularly when you're trying to get a youth vote out in a marginal seat.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
A Winchester student is being hailed a hero today for saving an 84-year-old man from his burning flat. 20-year-old Edward Herbert came to the rescue of the pensioner as flames engulfed his house. Veronica Friedel takes up the story.
The drama started when Edward noticed flames from the flat across the road. Our hero student climbed the ladder to get to the window on the top floor of his neighbour's house. Edward only managed to drag an old man to the window so that his head was out and stayed with him till the services arrived.
I just wanted to get him out. I really thought, he was so frail up there, and he was sort of holding my hand, and I just sort of telling him it was okay. I mean, he fainted twice on me, and that was pretty scary because I thought, I sort of thought the worst really, but I managed to sort of bring him around, and luckily it wasn't too long before the ambulance arrived and could give him some oxygen. I'm definitely going to go see him in hospital now, so bring him some flowers and hope that he's all right.
Edward was informed by the police that the old man is feeling fine and that he is with his family in Winchester Hospital. The cause of fire is still under investigation, said Inspector Johnson, who was with us on the place. Veronica Friedel, Winchester News Online in Stanmore.
Service for University of Winchester graduate Rainey Kin was held at the University Chapel. More than 50 people turned tribute to the 21-year-old who was tragically killed in a car crash near York last week. Madeline Clipple attended the ceremony.
A memorial service was held on Tuesday to commemorate the life of graduate Rainey Kin, who died in a car crash last week. Rainey was the international students representative and she graduated from the University of Winchester earlier this year. Her family and friends gathered in the University Chapel to say their last goodbye.
She has left us. She was a very good friend to all of us.
We were planning to have a Christmas party at the end of the year, so unfortunately we'll have to. I don't know whether the party she won't be there with us.
She was a very smiling person,
Brilliant.
and that's what will remain in my memory more than ever.
A very touching tribute. I'm sure Rainey will. Now to Tom Trepsky with the sport.
Winchester to a 4-1 victory over Lymington Town at the weekend. Our reporter Grant Payne must have thought he'd wandered onto the set of Strictly Come Dancing when he filed this report.
Winchester City welcomed Lymington Town with hopes of climbing their way up to 6th place. Lymington started the stronger though, with a decent effort from striker Joe Kittle. The away side continued to pressure, with Stuart Green forcing a smart save from City keeper Rory Anderson. Against the run of play though, the home side took the lead when Nathan Lynch headed home after 20 minutes. It was Lynch again who pranced his way through Town's defence to make it 2 for the home side. Cox and Lynch showing their delight and that it does take 2 to tango. Lynch capped off a fantastic first half performance with his hat-trick after skipping through Town's defence on 25 minutes. But manager Stuart Hussey still wanted more from his team. Lymington pulled a goal back after 20 minutes of the second half. But as the rain fell at the Den Plan, Winchester killed off the game with 5 minutes left through Danny Cox. This has been Grant Payne, Winchester News Online.
Eastleigh's Blue Square South tie against Weston-super-Mare has been rearranged after the referee postponed their game on Saturday just 5 minutes before kick-off. Manager Ian Baird was understandably frustrated.
Yeah, we're disappointed to get to 10 minutes before kick-off for the referee to decide that the game's off. In all fairness, I think if he'd have done it an hour before, he would have called it off then. But I think he failed to see a couple of areas that were poor. The pitch is playable bar 2 areas, and the 2 areas are on the right-hand side, that there's no bounce on the ball. When you throw the ball up, it lands dead, so therefore, if that's the case, it's deemed dangerous.
We played on the 16th of December. Finally, in local rugby, after 2 weeks of positive results, Winchester came crashing back to earth with a 34-0 home defeat to local rivals Trojans. Vince Murphy feels his side have taken a backward step.
Well, obviously we're very disappointed after all the forward steps we've been taking over the last few weeks. We were in the game right up till probably the last 20 minutes. We had our chances certainly in the first half to only be 7 points behind, but we didn't play collectively well as a team, I didn't think, and the game just slipped away from us.
Well, that's all your sport for now. Back to Cara.
Thanks very much, Tom. And finally, you'd be forgiven for thinking you'd had too much mulled wine running around Winchester Rugby Club on Sunday to raise funds for the children's charity at Naomi House. £15 to take part in the 5-kilometre fun run. Organiser Katrina McDuff was happy with the turnout.
Today's gone really well. We had a soggy start. We had to change the route because of the weather, because the ground was very wet underfoot. But once we organised that, it's just the weather, as you can see, is amazing now. Everyone's turned out, everyone's had lots of fun, come with the right spirit, and is hopefully now in the festive mood. So yeah, we're really pleased.
Now, keep your comments coming in to winallnews@mail.com, and don't forget you can catch up on all www.winnell.co.uk.